Hello there, and welcome to another episode of my Star Wars Survivor World. And in this episode, we're going to be moving on from the Sandcrawler, which was finished in the last episode, and moving on to Obi-Wan Kenobi's house. My original plan was to have it built on this little hill, but given how big this Sandcrawler is, it's just going to be blocking the view of it. So now I could either build it up on this hill, or I could build it on this one here. And I think this one is a good candidate because this is it has a little cove underneath where I could build a cave for the location of the original hello there when he meets Luke and R2-D2 in the desert. And I also have a bit of a problem from the last episodes, which is this massive shulker box stack here. All these items are just built up from where I was building all of this and doing all the trades. So now I need to go and put all of these away. Something else that I changed in this episode at the moment is I don't have the shaders on. That's just to allow it to run a bit smoother and just see how I feel about it, because I'm still not 100% sure on if I actually like using them or not. And I don't know, we'll see. I still left this gap open for me to fly through. But if anyone has a preference on the shaders, feel free to let me know. But for now, let's just jump to building up Obi-Wan Kenobi's house. So Obi-Wan Kenobi's house is now finished, but honestly, it's kind of difficult. You know, the more I do on this island, the more I realize Tatooine is kind of just a place of brownish yellow boxes. There's not a lot of detail in these builds, so it's quite challenging to make them look good or realistic. But I think overall I'm quite happy with the design. Just putting some sort of smudge marks down the sides. And this one, the damp is kind of going up the side of the building. I could maybe do with putting a little bit more around. It's also the first time I used glass for smoke in this world, and I think it suits because the smoke comes off at an angle and it keeps this pipe here quite thin. Let's just go inside because there is one last touch that I haven't finished off. Now, Obi-Wan Kenobi, he is my favourite Jedi. He is my favourite character in the series, and I know a lot of people also agree with that. And I'm not saying it to be generic. I genuinely just really enjoyed watching him when I was a kid, and he was just always so happy, you know. All the time he's got a joke to make, or he's always just in a good mood, enjoying what he's doing, and always trying to do what is right. And that is what I resonated most with in Star Wars, and he exemplifies the Jedi Order, as we know. So he gets to hold my most precious item that I have spare, the extra heavy core. It can just go up on his shelf here. That's his reward for being my favourite. But we've got like the little table here and the bed and some little seating areas. We've got a bit of a cupboard in here where you can hang some clothes or some drawers in here. This is supposed to be the bear rug on the floor. I don't know how else I would do it. Maybe a mob head could go there. Just like a kitchen area. This is supposed to be a Sonic dishwasher, and I could not find any images of it online, so this is what you got. This is the best I got. But if you come downstairs, we've got his little office. I need to do something with this room, but there's not really much space. His little office area. He's got his water tank in the back here, some water spilling out on the floor, some shelving with some rare items, obviously cactus for the desert, and some little jars of things, as well as a little desk here with his little spyglass on top. But I'm actually going to be using this building for something I already built, but in a small version last episode, which is over here. It's the honey farm. Now, this was just for me to get some honeycomb initially, because I needed some for the copper on the inside, and I've got a little supply here, so hopefully I can make up some more beehives and actually get a good farm going for both the honeycomb and for the honey bottles, so I can make the honey blocks. And I'm thinking, like, I was going to originally go through here somewhere, and that's why this wall is a bit empty. I did have a hole laid out here, but the problem is, if I just go through, it kind of goes to nowhere, and I would have to go down further. So I'm thinking, if I was to go through this wall, there's quite a bit more space back here, and I could go down a couple of layers and just actually have something coming off this way. And yeah, I think this wall is going to be a bit better for that. So, but to keep it even, I would probably need to do like either a 3 here or a 1 down the middle, which is not going to be in line, so I'm going to have to move this one. I think if I put this observer just somewhere over here, that will be fine. A bit more mechanical, and maybe I can then do something with this wall. But let's see what kind of honey farm I can fit in this area. I'm going to have to dig out a big hole, and I will come back when that hole is ready to be filled in. Well, the hole is dug out, so now I have the space to add in these farms. And you'll see one side is quite a bit bigger than the other. That's because this side is for the honeycomb and this side is for the honey blocks, including an auto crafting system and a refilling of the bottle system. That way I don't need to ever fill that up, and I'll only ever have to worry about the shears, but I think I should be pretty much fine and won't ever actually need to fill these up. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to all the people who subscribed and left me some really nice comments on the episode 10 video. So I have mentioned before, I am 1 week ahead on these episodes, and that will mean that I'm slightly behind in replying actually in the videos, but hopefully that doesn't matter too much. It's really nice to see that some people are enjoying the videos. It's quite satisfying to know that people actually enjoy it, and to be honest, I wasn't sure if anyone would even like it, but there you go. It's nice news, and I hope that I can continue to make videos and improve on them so that it's more of an enjoyable experience for you guys. Obviously, I don't want to be wasting anyone's time with these. So now I'm just going to add in the system, and I've just realized that is a little bit too high up actually. So I think what I'm going to do is I will lower this one down, and I'm going to remove these chests and just make it 3 lines. So we'll just dig a hole here, and that way I still have plenty of double chests, but I can fit in the farm a bit lower because I want all the bees to be on the same level. So what I will need to do is dig out a bit of space here, and I want my dropper to be facing here. That way, obviously, any extra that I get, I can just get rid of them. I don't want it to be clogging up the system. And I know a lot of people use these bee farms in other dimensions like the Nether and the End because the bees can work 24/7. However, I sleep enough. I don't spend a lot of time in the night times playing here, so it shouldn't be a problem for me. So what I will need to do is dig out a bit of space here, and I want all the bees to be on the same level. So what I will need to do is dig out a bit of space here, and I want my dropper to be facing here. That way, obviously, any extra that I get, I can just get rid of them. I don't want it to be clogging up the system. And I know a lot of people use these bee farms in other dimensions like the Nether and the End because the bees can work 24/7. However, I sleep enough. I don't spend a lot of time in the night times playing here, so I'm going to have to raise this path up one more, actually. Might be a bit of a better way to do it. Need to go grab some mud as well, that would be useful. You know what? I'm going to save some hoppers. I don't actually need this line here, because all of those are going to go into the front. So this is going to be quite a lot of hoppers for all this. We're going to have a double chest. We'll put it here. No, we won't put it there. We're going to have to put it one higher. And this will be where I put my shears into the system. So now I need blocks on top of these. It's a bit fiddly, especially with the keyboard. Now I just need to put redstone all the way across the top. Cool, so that is actually all done. And all I need to do is put in the flowers, the beehives, breed up some bees, and I'm going to break this wall here so I can actually make a pattern for that as well. Now I did want to use the honeycomb blocks for some of this, but that means I need the farm to get them, so we'll see what I do to start with, and maybe I'll change it after. I also installed another data pack, I also installed another mod, which is to see inside the shulker boxes, because I have so many in my storage it was getting kind of annoying. Okay, so now that is ready to go. I just need to put in the glass and the walls. We'll see how that looks when it's done, but I guess for now I should probably move on to building up the redstone for this side as well. That is wrong. Well done. Now these dispensers is where it gets a bit weird. I'm going to put some blocks on top of here again, just to cover up this area. So that's where my nests are going to go, and these ones need to face downwards. Hopefully I can just move along and place them all in like this. Obviously, you know, if you would like a detailed video on how to build this, I have actually put out another video on how to build the automated honey block farm. Obviously the honeycomb farm, everyone's done that, so it's not really one I'm going to spend my time making. It's as simple as that. That is all of the components for collecting the honey. Now I need more hoppers on top again. I just jumped down. Why have I done that? And I am going to need to go through and fill all of these with bottles, which is not going to be particularly fun, as well as all the shears here. Now I need to add in the crafting system, and I definitely need to move these chests. Let me grab a crafter. Oh, I love these new crafters. Honestly, it's so good for farms. I haven't really thought of any other use for them. It's just for building these farms. It makes it way easier. Now I need a couple of item sorters. Actually, I might as well do the system for locking this out first, just to get that in place. So we're going to have a comparator in subtract mode, and why is... Oh, right, okay, I get it. I thought there was an item inside for a second. And I need another crafter. I have this serious problem of just wanting to pick up one of an item, just the correct amount. And I always end up needing another one. I need to just get in the habit of just grabbing like half a stack. So now, if I put items in... Oh, I didn't mean to craft an item, but okay. It works, that's good. Oh, that's a problem. It's not a massive problem. I can just drop this down by one. So we're going to put a line of hoppers going here. This is to return the bottles. And then I need honey bottles. Sorry, I need honey blocks, and I need glass bottles, which I should have by now enough, because I converted my little honeycomb farm over here. So hopefully I have a few. I have enough. I have enough for two. And then that will give me the bottles back. So now it will separate those out. It's going to send the bottles over here, and I need to dig out a space. Just like that. Now if I put an item in, it will spit it out. Didn't grab soul sand. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? Right, that stream is in. It's working. So now the final step is collecting the honey blocks then we can start to put in all of the bees. Alright, that's it. All of the redstone is in place, so this will send the items back up. And now that I think about it, I don't actually need 2 layers of this. That was kind of stupid of me. Only because I changed the orientation of the chests, it's now just easier to do 1 layer. Okay, all the redstone is now in, so this should be ready to go once I put the walls and the front and the hives in. So the first thing I'm going to do is just cover up the sides and the front, and then from there we can start putting the hives in so that the bees can't escape. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of trading because as it turns out I need quite a lot of the glass bottles. So I needed, I think, 8 shulker boxes and 8 stacks. It was pretty easy to get all of that from trading since the books give the equivalent. I actually, because I have more book trades, ended up with a load of extra emeralds. And I just have loads of books available because, to be honest, the books are quite easy to get. I already have a bathroom farm and I have the paper farm over there, so I can make quite a lot of them. That's not a problem. But I have also already added in all of the shears to the honeycomb side. So that side is now done. And you'll see this is all maxed out and all of the ones in here are completely filled up. So this should not run out for a very long time. So now I need to go in and put all of these glass bottles in, which is not going to be fun. I don't have any blocks to climb up, so guess we're going the long way. And there we go. These are all filled. I haven't filled the top ones because that should be fine. I don't imagine there's a situation where that's going to be a problem. And the reason you have to fill these ones here is because otherwise all of the ones that are emptying from this side will just end up filling the first one anyway. So these need to be full to allow the bottles to move on to the next one. So now I can put in my bees and then we're done. I've just got to place in all the flowers. And how have I missed one of those? No, that's not possible. It didn't set on fire, did it? No, it's not close enough. Come on, I need the bees to come out so I can make them breed and get more. Do they only do it above a certain Y level? Or is there no bees in this one? That would be unfortunate. It's daytime. What's going on here? Oh, it's raining. Oh my goodness. I wish you could sleep in normal rain. It's so annoying. Like, it's not that I don't like the rain. It's just sometimes you don't want it to be raining. It's crazy. Okay, there we go. Finally. But it's going to be a bit of a slow process getting all the bees in, but I've started getting some honeycombs coming through already, and the honey bottles have started to build up as well, so it's definitely all working. And we'll see when we get one more honey bottle, just to make sure that system is also working. Look at all these bees, plenty of them now. These are actually the ones that don't even fit into any of the hives, so there's extra, so when the other ones come out, these go straight in and pollinate it straight away. While I was here, it was actually gathering up honeycomb, and I realised this one's going to have a lot more, so I actually extended that to allow for more storage. And sorry, I'm a bit confused. What is going on? Is there a... I thought, why is there a villager here? But it's not, is it? It's a wandering trader. God, these guys spawn so much ever since I built that. Ever since I built that sand crawler, they've just been spawning around this area a lot. And I think they know this is the trading place. That's why they seem to just be spawning all the time, more than usual. But anyway, so I do need to finish off the design for this, but it's getting quite late in the day, and I think I'm just going to leave this AFK overnight and see how many of these honey blocks I get. And I will come back tomorrow to design up the roof inside of here and maybe fix up the sides a little bit. It's not the best design. Maybe I'll replace some of these blocks under here. I did just do something very temporary for the setup. And I believe I've just realised my bottles won't be full. Don't think it's going to cause a massive problem. yeah, it's not going to cause a big problem, but all of these ones will be full, and these ones won't be quite full because I didn't fill up this for some reason. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but it should be fine. While I have left this AFK overnight, you can see all these guys are out here now. Of course, this isn't a farm that is great to leave AFK because it'll only work half the time due to it being night and raining. But let's see what I've got. Ooh. Okay, so we have a full double chest of those. And yeah, I expected this to be quite a bit less, as it's a bit slow getting the honey blocks. But that's not a problem because I'm going to be in the area, I'm going to be working on projects. So that was the idea of having it here. So now I need to finish up this room. Let's just put a little roof on here and maybe tidy up the floor and the sides. But I think this will do. It just kind of looks like the roof is dripping down and there's honey all in here. We've got some of the little lightning rods in here as well, just to give some thinner drips, and I just spread a few honey blocks in there as well. And also there's a few red flowers here, which is a bit annoying because unfortunately I put that too close to the lava system behind and it was burning the beehive. It was only getting one luckily, but yeah, so those have been replaced, and I will grab some yellow flowers, but at the moment I'm too scared to go inside because I had like 4 bees escape at one point. But that will do for the beehive, for the bee farm, and for the honey blocks and the honeycombs. I'm glad I have lots of this now. Now I can make candles, I can make these honeycomb blocks, and most importantly I can wax as much of the copper as I like. So now it's time to move on to the next thing, and something I mentioned last episode, and maybe at the start of this episode, I can't really remember now, is that I wanted to make an ominous bottle farm. So I'm going to go find a pillager outpost in a decent place. To be honest, I'm kind of hoping there's one near to my slime and witch farms, because it would be nice to keep all my farms in the same direction. That way I can just have one tunnel in the nether going to all of them. So unfortunately, the second half of this recording isn't actually working. Even though I click on the video, it won't play, or when it starts to play, it will just freeze on the first frame. But as you'll see in the next clip, when I show you, obviously, the finished product, there really wasn't much to it. So it's not a big loss on this occasion. But that is unfortunate. Yep, I'm taking these guys with me. Why not save them for later? Look at those idiots down there, just running straight into the hole. No idea where they're going, but thank you very much for the items. I don't know why, but this guy, like, one of them will spawn here, and one of them will spawn on this side, and they just stare straight at it. I'm wondering if it's better to put some buttons there, but to be honest, it hasn't really affected the rates at all. Look at all of these ominous bottles. And I left this for probably a few hours. I'm just going to fly off and come back so that they despawn, so that there's only a few there and I can just quickly jump into the hole and collect any extra ones I got in the last few minutes. And there we go, at least 2 stacks of all of them with some extras, and that's just from 2.5 hours, so that's excellent rates. And now I have a portal up here that I do need to link up to my other portals as well. Just make sure that I have an easy route back here. I nearly fell off there. And there we go, it's now linked up to all my main paths, which hopefully will not be here too much longer. But this will do the job. The other nice thing about this place is quite far away, and it's not quite in line with my other farms that I mentioned. But there is one nice thing about it, which is that it's by the sea, so I could make the obvious next farm that you would make, which is the raid farm. I could make that here. Also, this area is not just a random patch that I picked. It actually is very close to my next set of mushroom islands. So these will be the second set that I move on to after I'm finished with the first ones, but that's going to be a long while yet with all of these Tatooine builds and a whole nother island to do. So it's not a problem because I'm already going to have some nether portals in this area. Works out quite nice. This is quite a large island over here. There is actually another island as well, but that one is massive. And I'm just thinking what I should do in that area. I guess it could be like a Naboo or a Coruscant. But to be honest, I haven't actually been to see it physically. I've just seen it on the map. And on the map, it is huge. I mean, it's like triple the size of my Tatooine island, maybe even more. So that's quite a lot. Well, that is everything for today's episode, and luckily I only have a small amount of shulker boxes behind me to tidy up, which is a nice relief after the last one. But I think the Obi-Wan Kenobi build came out quite nice, and I fit in enough honey in there for what I'm going to need, and we got the ominous bottle farm done, so that means next episode I can take a look at making a raid farm. Now, I don't really need a raid farm, to be honest. I have the emeralds in there, and I can easily get them, and I don't need the totems of undying, because obviously I'm not on hardcore, and to be honest, I'm not really dying. I don't feel a need for it. Maybe I could take them to fight the warden again, I guess. But other than that, I I don't have a lot of a need for all of those items. But I've also never built a raid farm, so I want to go build one. Plus, trading for the emeralds when I was getting all that glass, it was fine. It wasn't a problem, but it did kind of double the length of time that I needed to spend. So it would be nice just to have a stock of emeralds, especially for the glass and some of the stones like the andesites, and not have to trade items to get it. And I always have the trades there if I need some while I'm in the area. But yeah, I just want to make one, and they seem quite complicated, probably more so than most of the farms I've made. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see you in the next one.